welcome everybody. Sorry for the delay. Had a little bit of technical issues here. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Again, I appreciate your patience. Today we're going to be doing a AgriDry webinar series on our Gravity Grain Spreader. My name is Jason Raymond, and Ryan O'Neill was supposed to be here today, but he had some issues, and he's actually traveling right now at work, so I'm kind of stepping in to help during this kind of busy season here starting into. So we're going to go ahead and get started here. So we're going to talk about the grain spreader. So there's key points in maintaining long-term grain quality. As a lot of us already know, that the air takes the path of the least resistance. So and also to control the temperatures of all of the grain in the bin. You know, we got to make sure this the bin is fairly level, and that's one of the great things about our Gravity Grain Spreader is it allows you to keep that, you know, at a pretty level playing field so you don't have piles. This diagram shows the restricted airflow from fines. Also, that's another thing that our grain spreader does, is it spreads those fines evenly throughout the bin, and so you don't have a restricted airflow in the center, which causes molding and all the other issues there as well. Here's another chart view. Shows obviously the air moving through the path of the least resistance. So you can see where most of the air is going to be going through the center, and the outsides are not going to get that airflow that's desired. So you kind of want a nice even bin, and with our Gravity Grain Spreader, you get the fines that are spread out, and you also get the levelness that, you know, can level it out, and so you don't have to crawl in there and hand shovel everything and move everything from side to side. Just some different things here, selling points, I guess you could say. The motorized spreader, you know, the check marks is obviously the motorized spreaders have motors, belts, and switches. Other Gravity Grain Spreaders don't. Obviously, our spreaders don't. And if you kind of go down to the big thing is, you know, some will rotate, some don't rotate, but ours do. Capable, unless you have cables in the bin. The nice thing we're looking here is capable to level a 60-foot diameter bin. Our Gravity Grain Spreader is capable of doing that. Our capacities are from 100 bushel per hour clear up to our mega spreaders, which we have 40,000 bushel per hour. Liner wear package available. We'll go into that a little detail here a little later on, and also the unbeatable customer service after the sale. That's where we're doing these webinars, and you can call in to our home office here, and you can speak with myself, Glenn, and a multitude of other people here that are willing to help you with different issues of whatever you may have. So the AgriDry Grain Spreader. This is an image kind of to show you how, it looks like sitting in the bin. You've got anywhere from 4-foot chutes clear to 8-foot chutes, or 2 8-foot chutes depending on your spreaders. This one here is just a standard 16.5 grain spreader with 8-foot chutes going around. Now the spreader's applications is obviously available from 15 feet to 156-foot diameter bins. Obviously, those are pretty large scale bins on a commercial or big setups. Again, the 100 bushel per hour to up to 40,000 bushel per hour, you can have spreaders available to handle that. We do storage bins, natural air drying bins, wet holding bins, high temp drying bins for like stirrators or shivers, flat storage buildings. We have a lot of different applications for our grain spreaders. These are the optional grain accessories that you're able to purchase. on top of the spreaders that you get. This is pictures of a Tiebar hopper insert, easily popping. You just set in there and take out if you don't need it. Tiebar inserts obviously are used for low fill rates from a dryer, air system, or etc. So the nice thing about it is if you have variable flow rates and you're not coming from a dryer, you obviously can take that out, just pull it right out and use it for a heavier fill rate. Also, we have long support arm kits. On a typical smaller bin setup with an open top lid, a lot of times we will hang those spreaders right from the lid itself. And sometimes, depending on the situation, you may need a longer arm kit. We do have those available as well. Keep in mind that they can only be used for a 12,000 series or smaller, cannot be used for dual chute spreaders. For those, you're going to have to use some heavier eye bolt kits and just to keep the support there. Spreader upgrades. Do a spreader update kit. Some of you may have called in the past. I don't know how long you guys had our grain spreaders, or somebody who did. But we started out with a lot of back in the years past. We started with just a regular aircraft cable for an adjustment knob that you would actually have to pick up and move. Or we have update kits from leveling, to the poly knob kit where it turns. Now we have a T-handle. Just depends on what you need. There's spreader update kits available for leveling band adjustments and all sorts of things. Going back to the Tiebar liner, we also have Tiebar liner for our chutes, the grain chutes. The liner is standard on all double chute spreaders. It can be added to smaller spreaders, but remember it closes all the upper tabs on the chutes. Our liner is a 1/4-inch Tiebar anti-static material for high wear areas, for mainly at the upper end of the chutes. Also, the cones on those can be filled with liner as well for the high impact areas. And for the liner packages, there's also a coated bearing holder with liner insert for the hopper. All this stuff extends the life of the spreader tremendously. It doesn't wear down as fast. And pretty much standard on all of our installs for spreaders is the inspection caps here, the inspection holes become an 8-inch inspection kits or 10-inch inspection kits for holes for access. These holes are kind of crucial, so you can go in there and access the grain spreader. Keep in mind also, if you have an open top bin with no deadhead, you're just filling with a portable auger, you may not need those, obviously, because you can just open the lid and access the spreader there. So now we're going to go into different troubleshooting things, just some things to keep in mind here as we go into the grain spreader. So this is a picture of a smaller, probably typical 3,000 to 5,000 series hopper and spreader. So you have the cone. You want to make sure that the cone and then the hopper up top and the leveling band are all kind of narrowed in together. This is what it looks like when it pretty much comes into the factory, from the factory to the farm site. You're going to see the hopper here, and you want to make sure that these fingers here on the hopper are about the same diameter and width as this leveling band, so all the grain can get directed into there properly. And then you'll have you'll either have a poly knob handle down inside there where you can adjust that leveling band up and down. And right here you can see the leveling band. You can adjust that up or down with that white poly knob. Some of you may have a T-handle with a threaded rod. Those are also available for an update kit. And all those will adjust that up and down for the cone. So depending on your fill rate, the slower that you have on a fill rate, you'll want to lower that cone down. You'll want to lower that leveling band here and get closer to the cone here for the lower fill rate. Now, the higher fill rate, you're going to want to raise that. And there's a video here I'll show you. Again, a lot of these videos are all on our website, so at any time you can go back and view these. And it kind of shows you what it should look like when you are when you're using the grain spreader. So you want to make sure that there's an even overflow coming above that leveling band, and also grain running out the bottom of the chutes. The amount of overflow up top is going to depend on how much is dumped in the center. Basically, the more overflow you have coming out of the leveling band is going to equal a higher, the more that's going to fill up in the center. The more grain that runs out the bottom of that leveling band through the chutes is going to equal the more grain to the outsides and the sides of the bin. This is another picture here of kind of an overall view on a show stand of what this was going to look like. You can see the arms, and, the hopper, and everything all. Again, now keep in mind this is a smaller grain spreader. We have all different sizes for different size bins. Let me go here. I'm going to take you to our website here. This video here is just going to show you an idea. Now you can see here not much is overflowing and out of the top. This is kind of at full capacity, so the leveling band overflows. You want a little bit of overflow there. You can still see it. It's not tremendously overflowing, but it's a nice even spread coming through. Again, the more you have overflowing up the top, is going to depending on how much you dump in the center. Now, see this picture here. You can see how those spines are spread more evenly throughout the bin. They're spread, not all dumped directly in the center. Again, and this is on a 5000 series grain spreader. You can see where there's not much overflow, and some of it's starting to overflow a little bit. You want to make sure though everything gets those hoppers and that hopper dumps everything into that center so that it's more of a controlled environment. Okay, the grain will begin to overflow as the auger fills to capacity. Now you can see as it fills to capacity, there you go. But keep in mind there, especially if you are filling with a portable auger with a tractor, you're going to want to make sure that you maintain that RPMs, because obviously the RPMs on that tractor is going to make that change, and you'll have to kind of adjust it. So the biggest thing on our grain spreaders is just getting that fine-tuned to start with, so you know where you're at. And nice thing about these open top bins, on a smaller bin setup, you can dump a wagon and then look and see where you got to go, and look in the bottom of the bin to see, if you need to adjust anything higher or lower on the level as far as that goes. So as you can see, this is kind of how you want your grain spreader and your grain to be coming through there. A nice even overflow at the top and also at the bottom. Shows here farmer turns the adjustment to move the leveling band up or down. And you may see his hand come in here and he just reaches in there while it's flowing and you adjust it. Also, if you want to, if you're trying to get the max capacity out of your bin, as the bin gets full, the main thing you want to remember on these grain spreaders is you cannot bury them. You will damage not only the spreader, but you could also damage your bin as well by all that weight up top pulling down on the roof. So you do not want to bury any part of these spreaders. So when you get closer to the top of the bin, if you want to peak it, so it's still not burying the chutes, but it's going more towards the center, that's when you can adjust that leveling band accordingly so you have most of all the grain overflowing out of that leveling band to get you more dumped in the center. So that's kind of the gist of the overview of our grain spreaders. I'm going to go ahead and open up the lines here if you guys have any questions. So stand by, I'll open up the line here. Does anybody have any questions concerning the gravity grain spreader that we have? Just a short little overview here for you. Keep in mind that there's videos on our website that we're just at. There's a whole host of videos. There's webinars, topics of the weeks that Clint Walker, you guys have probably seen, more demonstrations on the grain spreader. So anybody else have any questions? Okay, hearing none, I just want to again thank you guys. Again, sorry for the delay of this morning. Had a little bit of complications here with our technical system here, but you know, I do appreciate you hanging on there and bearing with us. We're going to have some more webinars here in the upcoming week. You guys will see emails on that and a schedule on our website that has all the different webinars scheduled. Again, thank you again for everything and your continued support throughout the years. And if you have any more questions, you can contact us. This is our office number. If you have your local sales rep or dealer number, you can contact them as well if you need any kind of service issues. So again, my name is Jason, and I appreciate you guys tuning in each week, and we will see you guys next time. So thank you again, and have a great day and a great harvest.
Thank you.